in the pit, selling goons like PNC. Ride tossed on bus G's, we're the kings of the seven seas. Mythic Squad, we will fly high with the wings of a dragonfly. Instant return gives us powers, meet us up in the office hours. 100 bucks when it's made, Mythic swords in my hands, 91K. Thoughts guide us through the stages while we summon mythic sages. Dark nights, spellbounds crazy. Mythic Squad will remain for the ages. Mythic Squad, no, we'll never be banned. Not from a bomb side or any project. Mythic Squad, every hero's on quest. Step aside, oh my friend, you will have to repent. Mythic Squad, no, we'll never be banned. Not from a bomb side or any project. Mythic Squad, every hero's on quest. Step aside, oh my friend, you will have to repent. Oh Lord, gives us blessings.
Welcome everybody for another episode of your second favorite podcast after the weekly reset. This is KarmaKast. With you once again, your favorite Italian host, 91K. Mythic Squad in the building. Yeah, Mythic Squad in the building. Oh, what's up Skiller? What's up Starbuck? Welcome everybody. So, how we're gonna kick in today? We're gonna start with some really silly dark summon, then we're gonna proceed with your absolutely not favorite thing, that is another tier list. I have everything set up here. It's gonna be really a long stream, this one. I can already forecast this. So how you doing? How was this week without me? I've been in Italy on holiday for a week. It's been a crazy good week actually. I had a lot to do there, starting from all the doctor's appointments. As usual, when I go back home, the first thing I have to do is going to see every kind of doctor. Then I get back worse than I was when I left, of course. So let me crack these dark summonings. There's nothing crazy. I'm just trying to accumulate some giant slayers, and then with a bit of time I'm gonna start to summon them together in order to get some double giant slayer. I have actually at the moment a ton of them on Serendale, where I'm using the regular portal to summon double giant slayer. I got already like 2 or 3 double giant slayer with summons. I've got like 4 or 5 normal giant slayers, all with between 5 and 9 summons. So I'm on the right path. So we got an archer with nothing efficient, went on the recessive. Doesn't matter, let's keep summoning. As I was saying yesterday to Beef, every time I dark summon on stream, things go to shit. But who cares? Let's do it anyway, just for fun. So as you can see, I've got a trading view here open. I'm following some stuff. I'm ready to pop in again in a trade. Has been quite positive for me in the last couple of days, actually last couple of weeks. Let's see what are we gonna get here. And we get mythic vibes always. Will be crazy getting a mythic here. There's a rare scholar, pale skin. No, even this one leadership. I believe this one is gonna go in the pit back again with the previous one, and maybe the recessive are gonna kick in. Who knows? Let's crack these crystals. Yesterday I made a legendary archer with giant slayer and I believe stun. Uh, Hopefully I'm gonna get another legendary with giant slayer in the other position so I can kill them together and see where we go. Common, efficient, nothing, nothing. Let's keep going. Let's keep rolling them. These are some really cheap dark summons. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. So what are why we open this? What are we gonna do today? We're gonna give a bit of thoughts about the trades that are becoming always more and more important, especially in PvP. I'm gonna give my 2 cents about the JCL that started this week. I'm gonna actually play tomorrow night. I'm gonna play actually against France. I believe it's a DFK, so it's gonna be a nice step into the guild wars we always wanted. Legendary scholar with leadership. Oh, actually, this is not bad for me because I got like 3 or 4 legendaries all with efficient. And I was keeping getting legendaries with efficient, and I really wanted at least one with leadership so I can DS them together. We're gonna do that at the end of the stream. Maybe it's gonna be luck enough. So. How is this event going for you guys? Did you get anything crazy? Anything good? I seen yesterday Beaver got a double giant slayer mythic archer with stone, which is one of the only two existing in the game. And mine is gonna be the third one. I'm always jinxing myself this way. Let's see. Go, Pete, go. Monk, common, leadership, and menacing. Not what we wanted, but what we got. Last one, last one. Let's see if we get at least one giant slayer out of these 6 summons. Beaver's been on fire. Man, Beaver is always on fire. Sometimes we don't notice it because he's flying under the radar. But sometimes you see him popping out with those monsters. But you never know how many summons it took him to do that. We kinda have an idea though. Oh, blah. Common pirate. Nothing. Leadership. All this stuff is gonna go back in the pit. So, I'm gonna show you that crazy nice archer. For those who don't believe it. So I have this unfortunately it's a scholar as a sub. Yeah, I got this warrior here with double giant slayer. I'm gonna see what to DS this with. Yo, Mega, you doing? Beer is not under. He let you know every time, man. Not every time, man. You never know how many summons he does. You only see the crazy good ones. Day is not stun. Anyway, similar. So this one is gonna be Dark Summoned with possibly another Archer legendary with GS here in second position, and with a bit of luck, we're gonna get that double Giant Slayer Mythic Archer. So what are we gonna do today? As I said, we're gonna tier list a bit of these traits. We're gonna start with the active traits, then we're gonna go back in with the passive traits. So, in the meanwhile, let me know if you got anything cooler than that double Giant Slayer Mythic Archer that Beaver got. I don't believe that, but anyway, guys, let me know in the comment whatever you got. So, let's start with the active traits. First active traits, I kinda put them in their own order, but we're gonna start with Poisoned Blade, which is actually one of my favorite traits, because we all understood how effective poison is in this game with the dynamic that recalls the toxic effect in Pokemon, where it's not standard amount of HP that gets lost, but it's a scaling amount of HP that gets lost every 10 ticks. So it's not even every turn. If you date, stun, do any of those kind of things to an opponent, it's gonna keep losing HP every 10 ticks, which is absolutely incredible. And with the fact that it's scaling, guys, this trait slaps incredibly. So I'm gonna put Poison Blade as an A tier trait because it's absolutely a gorgeous trait. It does a lot. Which classes I prefer having it? Mostly supports, so you're not gonna waste the turn with any of your DPS. But even if you have it on a DPS and you want to use it in a turn where you don't wanna consume mana, but you wanna force your opponent to spend or waste a turn on healing it and cleansing one of his heroes, that's crazy good. With that 70% possibility of applying, it's super strong. Second trait we're gonna see is Blinding Winds. Blinding Winds, it's kinda similar to Poison Blade because it forces your opponent to cleanse. It's got that 70% of chance of applying that is really juicy, but it's not as debilitating as Poison Blade. Some heroes see one of those crazy archers from Eternal Zenith where they have the Scully Scion and they have a 120% chance of hitting. Even if you reduce by 30%, their precision, it doesn't really matter that much. So I'm gonna place it in a B tier. Same thing as Poison Blade. I believe that Blinding Winds is that kind of trait that you want on your on your support heroes. You rarely wanna use with one of your DPS. Maybe a tank. Tank as a knight that sometimes find itself with not really that much to do. That might be a really good option. Then we proceed with heal. Heal is another of those traits that sometimes turn out to be incredibly good. I have heal on some DPS. The best thing will be having heal on your tank. Same reason, sometimes you have the tank not having anything specifically useful to do, and it's really interesting having an extra heal. Maybe in a composition where you go with a double DPS and a tank, having heal on the tank comes really in hand. So I'm gonna place it as a B tier list trait. Then we have cleanse. I'm trying to go as fast as possible through all of this because I believe that there are really a lot of them. So I really don't wanna get stuck on any trait more than necessary. But cleanse is another of those traits that is really, really useful. Why is it so? Because getting rid of one of those poison, blind, stun, all this kind of shit that people throws at you comes really at end. And having it on a tank or having it on a healer, if you don't want to waste skill space, let's define it like that, to select any cleansing skill, which of course Dragonfly's match, I believe, is gonna be today. Not sure about the time. I'm gonna double check it later. I don't believe was contrasting with my stream. I really hope not. Cleanse is gonna go into a B tier list. I'm trying to not overcrowd the A tier list too much, but heal and cleanse might be, let's say, on the limit between A and B tier. So, Iron Skin. Iron Skin can save your ass in certain situations, especially on a healer. You in an hour and 9 minutes. Okay, so I hope that I'm not gonna be that slow with the tier list. So thank you, Bon, for your reminder. Iron Skin. Iron Skin is good on your healer. It's not good on anything else, basically. It's not gonna change your game at all. Sure, you reduce by 15% the amount of them physical damage that you get, but as I said, it's not gonna save your life. So I'm gonna place it as a C tier list. It's really situational. It really works only on specific classes, while all the other traits that we've seen so far may go on whichever of your classes. This one really goes only on supports, because having a tank that has got already skills to do the same thing and that are really more efficient than Iron Skin make you waste a turn in doing so. Speed. Now, speed is an interesting one. People in the beginning was like, yeah, but why should I use speed? Wasting a turn using this trait just to go faster in the future when I can do something now. That's true. At the same time, speed gives you accelerated initiative effect. So your next turn is gonna come really soon, and then you're gonna be sped up. So I'm gonna place this as an A tier because I tried it on a seer, and guys, the channeling with the seer works incredibly good when you are speeding up like hell. Then, of course, if you have speed on a tank, it's not gonna be really useful as much as a support or a DPS, but it's at least two type of classes out of three, differently from Iron Skin that instead is one classes out of three. Critical aim. Now, critical aim is crazy. I didn't really understand if critical aim works on healings as well. Seems like it does, or at least I believe it should be. I'm gonna place critical aim as an A tier trait. Why? Because you never wanna met one of those archers that has got critical aim, or one of those warriors. They use critical aim and then they shoot at you one small stone and the repeating shot one after the other. And man, they're gonna beat the shit out of you so easily because that 20% extra crit on a already crit based class. Oh man, that's heavy. I got some marchers like that, and when I use them in ants, man, they go crazy with the crits. Crazy. Death mark. Now, death mark is a really situational trait. I believe it's useful in certain situations. It's useful when you use it when you don't want to put out too much damage in that specific moment, but you want to set yourself up to increase your output of damage in the future. I use it mostly during ants because my PvP heroes don't have got that mark. But in ants is really useful when you are waiting for Mama Board to channel their wild charge. You want to put some more damage with your healer in just to keep low the health of a small boar and make sure that next turn you're gonna hit it hard. But actually, compared to a lot of these other traits, doesn't really do that much. Now we finish with the basic traits. Let's see the advanced ones. Exhaust is a really good trait. I use it a lot. It does what it's got to do. It's the only status effect that can be applied even if there's a shield on. So don't be scared of using exhaust on people with shields, with bubbles. Unfortunately, it's got only 50% of possibility of applying. It's not really damaging as a trait when it comes to proper HP damage, but if you apply that exhaust, man, you wasted people you wasted a lot of time for those people. They're gonna really cuss you as much as they can. Days is another really good effect because it's got a higher chance of possibility of applying respect exhaust, so I kinda prefer it. The idea is that it's really useful when you have to move people's turn by some ticks, or you want to block a channel. Once I won a game against Dragonfly Tales only because of days, because both of our archers were low HP. I used the days on his archer and I moved his turn two ticks away, but enough to set my archer first and kill his archer. And he hated me so much for this. And I believe that that's the way you have to use dates. You gotta use it in a situational way, but it's actually that kind of trait that is good to have on any of your heroes. Whichever it is, go for it. It's fine. It's great. Explosion. Eh, I'm sorry, explosion. This trait has got the coolest animation ever, but unfortunately works only with one or two classes. At least among the classes we already have. Makes a lot of damage only if you're using it with a berserker or with a really high damaging warrior. But generally speaking, it's useless because you waste time channeling and hit that makes not that much damage to three enemies. Okay, if you place it in the center, but man, use a whirlwind and you make more damage. Use repeating shot, you make rapid shot, you make more damage. You use barrage and you make more damage. So whatever you want to use, you make more damage. So it's sad. I'm sorry for explosion because it looks cool, but it's absolutely useless. Hardened shield. Hardened shield is another one that exactly as iron skin. It's situational. It's slightly better than iron skin because it saves your ass from a bigger amount of damage, but unfortunately it's situational. I mean, yeah, it can save your healer, but healing it would save it as well. So, I mean, why wasting time using Garden Shield? The only difference is that you would save mana. Okay, fair enough. But seriously, if you would have heal, if you would have blinding winds, if you would have days, if you would have speed, anything you do basically could be better than Iron Shield and Iron Skin. I'm kinda sad because Iron Skin and Ardent Shield should be, in my opinion, passive traits. In that way, they would be really good traits. I would love them because increasing automatically and in a passive way your damage resistance will be crazy good. Let's check a second here what's happening. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Okay, let's wait another hour for this. Back here. So stun. Stun is a crazy good effect. I love it. Since when I found out that there are several ways to impose stun on your opponents, I started using those skills a lot. Ultra, welcome to the KarmaKast. Guys, if you didn't check the work that Ultra has done to change the visual of the gardens into spooky Halloween gardens, go and check it out. He made such a crazy good work, man. You gotta check that. You gotta check it. Believe me. So stun. Stun is another of those effects that I love. I'm gonna place stun as an A tier because basically what it does is making people lose turns. And it's one of those effects that is gonna change the course of a game. It's really a game changer. Believe me, um, I started using Shield Smash just because of stun. I started using the combination of Holy Light, Holy Rat just because of stun, and especially in certain hunts. I haven't tried it that much in PvP, but in hunts it works a lot. You see those eggs or that mother clucker channeling shit. You just use stun or you use that shield smash that pushes them. And remember, pushing stops a channeling. So already if you just push somebody, you stop a channel. So stun, really, really good trait. Second wind. So I've seen people hating on second wind. Maybe I just use this word like the little kids use a coloring book. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, but oh, yo, Sticks, welcome to the stream. You might have used this word, Gringo, but man, you did an amazing job. Believe me, I was really shocked when I saw that. You even put the shades under the ghosts, which was crazy good, really realistic. So second wind is one of those traits that people hate, and I don't understand why. Because if you have second wind on your tank or on your DPS, all of a sudden in a really weird situation where maybe you don't have got mana on your healer or you don't have got an healer at all, you're playing double DPS tank. Man, second wind is gonna heal all of your party, and especially if you got it on a knight with 1500 HP, all of a sudden he's gonna recover the 50% of his HP, and all the other heroes you have are gonna recover the 75% of that. Um, Man, that's crazy good. I understand if you have it on a healer, if you have it on a low HP hero is meh, because you're gonna recover what, 500 HP. But man, what the fuck? That's really good. So I don't understand the hate that people have got on second wind. Having a second wind in your team, I think is always a good thing. And then we go on the last of the active traits, which is resurrection, which of course as a transcendent trait we're gonna place in an S tier. Now, my um, experience with resurrection, I don't own any resurrection hero. I probably am the only player who tried 40, 50 resurrection summons and never got one. But I mean, it is what it is. I never complained. I always kept the stun and second wind that I got after that. So resurrection, in my experience, is a really good, really, really good trait. But you need to have it on really PvP heroes, because if you go in PvP with a rare hero with resurrection and no stone on, man, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you once, twice, and if you want, even three times. And I had this experience because I played recently against Okul, and he had a double resurrection second life hero, a double second life resurrection hero, and a giant slayer. The thing is that they were all common, uncommon, and rare. Even if he had, oh, Sticks, welcome to the KarmaKast. As I said in the beginning, this is everybody's second favorite stream after the weekly reset. So I was saying, I had to kill those heroes 12 times, because you kill them once, second life, you kill them again, resurrection, you kill them again, second life again, you kill them, and resurrection again. And it went on for like 50, 55 minutes. And I was playing with double support Berserker, so I was playing like Seer, Priest, Berserker. And it's been really a long extenuating battle, and probably if I would have played a different kind of DPS from the Berserker, I would have lost on the long term, because I would have run out of mana. But in that case, I had a perfect team to deal with that amount of resurrection and second lives. Sometimes, well, way back, Dragonfly once told me, if you resurrection is cool, but needs to be on good heroes, because if it's not, I can kill you once and I can kill you twice if I want. If my heroes are practically better than yours, despite the resurrection. So, resurrection is a crazy good trait, but only if you have it on a monster hero. If you don't have it on a monster hero, guys, I'm sorry, but it's not gonna work that much. So, that said, we finished the first set of traits, the active traits. Now we're gonna move on the passive traits, but before doing that, it's time for giving 2 minutes to the sponsor of this episode.
They're finally back.
with over 1 billion copies sold. After the worldwide awarded success of
I'm a beaver on a steel horse, I'll ride. I'm wanted dead or alive.
after the nomination for Best Lyrics of 2024,
When I find myself in times of trouble, and Alsa Mary come to heal, then I'm speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. 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 Who's speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
their new album is finally out.
They told him, don't you ever come around here. Don't wanna see your face, you better disappear. The fire's in their eyes and the words are really clear. So believe it, just believe it. Ooh, you better run, you better do what you can. Ooh, don't wanna see no blood, don't be a macho man. You wanna be tough, better do what you can. So believe it, but you wanna be bad. Just believe it, believe it, believe it, believe it. No one wants to be a beaver. Showing how funky and strong is your fight. It doesn't matter who's wrong or right. Just believe it, just believe it, just believe it, just believe it, believe it. Oh.
Justin Bieber and the Howling Wolves.
Okay, welcome back. Mosh on the drums. Yes, absolutely. That's Mosh on the drums. Don't worry, I have some other sponsor for the next episodes that are already involved. Well, I'm not gonna spoiler anything. But so after our sponsorship, thanks for Justin Bieber and the Howling Wolves. Remember to book your ticket for their live. I know that their live in the pit is already sold out. So be careful, don't lose your opportunity. That said, let's get back to the passive trades. So we saw all the active trades. We have only one S tier trade and one D tier trades. So dualist. Dualist is an incredible trade. Sometimes it changes your game and you won't expect it from one of these basic trades. So what does it do when you end up 1v1? It powers you up. It's like a silly version of Giant Slayer. And man, it works so well. Because you don't need to stress yourself out in order to make it. But when you realize that you have a double duelist guy on the battlefield and you remain 1v1 in those games that are like no more mana for both of the players, so we go with basic attack versus basic attack. All of a sudden your basic attacks are not anymore basic. Honestly, start to become like a small version of your mighty strike, a small version of your gladiator strike, and you start to make 170 180 with your basic attack, even if you're not using a berserker, which is one of those things that changes the end of a game. So don't sleep on duelist. It's not an expensive trade, it's not complicated to get, but sometimes it's really good. Clutch. Now, clutch is a B tier trade. I don't really love the effect. It's another of those situations that gets activated as duelist when you get under a certain amount of HP. I'm gonna read again for you the meaning because people tend to confuse them. Personally, I tend to confuse them a lot. So, increase damage dealt by 20% when you are below 2. Okay, so I confused duelist and clutch, of course. So the difference between clutch and duelist is that basically duelist has got an extra effect respect clutch. Clutch just increase your damage, while at the same time, duelist increase your block and spell block as well. So of course, duelist has got an extra effect. Now clutch has got one benefit respect duelist. The fact that it gives you that effect even if you have 3 heroes on the field, while duelist gives you the extra damage only if it's 1v1. Now why I prefer duelist? Because sometimes you get 1v1 with a full health hero, while in order to get clutch you need to be close to that, and when you are close to that you tend to heal, so you don't really get the benefit of clutch. Foresight instead is a trait that I tend to love on specific builds. I'm gonna place it as an A tier trait, and now I'm gonna tell you in which kind of build I like it. Imagine this. What does Foresight? It gives you 3% extra evasion. So imagine a double Foresight ninja with evasion pants and high agility. That guy is gonna get at least 35 to 40 evasion, and when that situation is gonna drop in, people is gonna hate the fact that they're not gonna be able to hit the ninja nearly the 50% of times. And I'm pretty sure that classes like ninjas will have skills that are gonna increase their evasion even more. Imagine it on a class that we have already on an archer with a channeling build. So you get that 6% evasion from the armor, because you're gonna tend to give them the feather duster. You try to get a decent one with 6% evasion. They're gonna get that 7-8 evasion percent evasion automatically from their agility, so you're already around 14-15% evasion. You add 2 of these, you go to 21. You give them a good evasion pants, other 4%, you are to 25, and with the shrouded skill you get to 45% evasion. So every time you channel, you are really difficult to hit. I don't want to say unhittable, but man, 45% evasion is a big number. So people don't sleep on Foresight, because that trait is gonna be game changing, and I believe is gonna be nerfed in the future, especially when we're gonna get classes as the ninja. That's gonna be nerfed because 2 of them 6% is gonna be too much. Now we have Headstrong. Headstrong increases resistance to days. Now it's nice, but it's situational. I kind of like all these situational traits where you get the resistance to this, resistance to that, but I don't believe they're game changing, because it's actually a 35 resistance. It's not bad. Having 2 of those means that you rarely get dazed, but still, wouldn't you prefer something that changes your game for real? It's good on a channeling hero. It's good when you have heroes you don't want to be moved on the timeline. But at the same time, if you have to have headstrong, why don't you go for a duelist? Why don't you go for a foresight? Why don't you go for something that is gonna save your ass for real? Same thing for clear vision. Now, clear vision, what does it do? It gives you 35% resistance to blind. So these are falling in all the category of status effect resistance traits. Okay, cool. But man, I can use a potion, I can use a cleanse and get some life back. I much rather have a better passive trait. Again, if Iron Skin and Hardened Shield would have been passive trait, I would have really loved that effect on my heroes, much rather than Headstrong, Clear Vision. Fearless, Fearless might be a bit better because Fear is a really annoying effect. The fact that you can't use skills that make damage on a physical level. I mean, sure, when we're gonna get the wizards, fearless is gonna become useless as a as a trait. As much as fear is gonna become useless as a status effect, because people is gonna go for magical damage, and even if you get feared, you're gonna be able to use that. But still, Chatterbox might be a bit better, but still I'm gonna keep it in this B tier list because I'm not a lover of this status effect resistance traits. Stalwart, same thing. Poison, man, yeah, poison resisting to poison might be a bit better. This might be like, you know, on the edge between A and B, but still goes with all the status effect resistance traits. I don't love them. Somebody might think differently. I don't know. Give me your opinions in chat. But still, I believe that you can get much better traits. And now we go to the all-time favorite for everybody, leadership. Leadership is a nastier trait. Now, I know it's a basic trait. Why setting it up with resurrection might be exaggerated. But guys, giving to all of your ally 5% bonus damage. And if you have a double leadership or even more than a hero with leadership, getting that 15% capped extra damage, man, don't underestimate that, because all of a sudden, imagine a berserker who gets a lot of extra damage and extra attack by its skills, by its trait possibly, and then gets some extra damage with leadership. Man, that's gonna become a huge amount of extra damage. So don't sleep on leadership. Leadership is a really nice trait. That said, we talk about the last basic trait. We get efficient. Efficient is an A tier trait. What does it do? People sleep on this. It reduces mana consumption by 10%. Imagine having a double efficient priest. How much more you can heal? Man, that's what you wanna know. Let me have a look at this. Yeah, what I expected going around this area. I think I can soon open it again. Okay. So double efficient on a wizard or on a priest, on a summoner, that can be good because you're gonna start to spend a lot less for your spells. Remember that there's a skill from the seer, which is a 5 tier skill that reduces the mana spent for a skill. I mean, you need to have a level 5 skill to get a similar effect. Of course, it's much better than a double efficient because in that case you're gonna spend only 1 mana for a skill. You can use a repeating shot that costs a lot of mana, or you can use a full heal that costs a shit ton of mana with just 1 mana. That's a game changer situation. But efficient is gonna make you save 10% on everything you do for the whole game, not for one turn, not for one skill or 2 skills. So guys, efficient. It's not as good as leadership, but it's really good. Now, menacing. Menacing is a really debilitating effect because I'm gonna place it as an A tier skill, reducing by 5% the damage that all of your opponents do with a cap at 15% is literally the opposite of leadership. We know that. But it's not as good as leadership because it's not going to involve your heroes, it's not going to involve your strategy, it's just debilitating for the opponent, and it's not as debilitating as, I don't know, bring one of your heroes back to life, but it's debilitating. And accumulating 3 of those is gonna be annoying for every player, believe me. Toxic. Now, I love the idea of toxic. It doesn't work as good as I expected because we're talking about a 3% chance of applying poison. Sure, if you have it on it's like the bleed damage, the 5% bleed damage that you got with a gore sword. It works when you basically have an hero that does a lot of attacks. So on the overall amount of attacks, sooner or later you're gonna stack a toxic, you're gonna stack a bleed. But it's not that high chance. Now I have an archer with double toxic. I like that archer is not leveled enough already to be used. It's not stoned, so it's not gonna be a PvP hero. But having a double toxic archer might be good when you go with rapid repeating shot, multi-shot, all those attacks that stack multiple instances of attack of damage because you increase the chance of stacking a toxic. I'm gonna place it in a B tier because it's just a 3%. You need to have at least 2 to make it work. Now we have the last 3 of the passive traits, and these are all really good traits. So Giant Slayer is everybody's all-time favorite. I'm gonna place it as an S tier because everybody's going for Giant Slayer, double Giant Slayer DPS, because having that basically when your HP is below the HP of the opponent that you are attacking, you get 25% extra damage. That that's a lot of damage. Because if you have this on any DPS tend to not have that much HP. Tend to have what 700-800 HP. You attack any tank with an archer, you attack any warrior, man, you're always gonna be in the situation where you got less HP than your opponent. It doesn't specify that you need to be damaged in order to have this working. When it came out, I imagine, okay, this is gonna work. When I get hit, I go lower HP than an opponent, and then it's gonna work. Instead, this work even if you are full health, and this makes it a really really incredible trade. This works a lot. Everybody's on this run in order to get the double giant slayers, and we get back to Beaver, who got yesterday the greater Luckstone mythic double giant slayer archer, which has got a really long name now that I noticed. But man, that thing is gonna be scary in any PvP. If he levels up that hero properly, I don't wanna play versus Beaver never in my life if he's got that thing. I'm trying to build a double giant slayer mythic greater with stone wizard because at the moment it's still cheap to do it because wizards are not out yet as a codex. We know that sooner or later it's gonna come. Probably is one of the next releases. Everybody wants to get into that arcane power dynamic. Everybody's waiting for wizards, so now is the moment to run and make one. If we manage to make something like that, guys, that's gonna be the DPS. It's gonna be one of those cards that is gonna be game changer for your legion. So believe me, don't sleep on Giant Slayer. Last stand. Last stand is a tier trait for me. Why? Because basically I'm gonna read it for who don't know that. When this hero's health drops below 30% from a source of damage, the damage is reduced such that no less than 10% of the hero's HP remains, then gain unstoppable plus 300% physical defense and magical defense for 15 ticks. Can occur obviously once per battle for each trait. So what's the idea of this? If you have this on a tank and people is finally getting close to bring it to low health, they don't, because you're gonna still have at least 30% of health. You're gonna have any super increased physical defense, which is already high for knights, legionnaires, every kind of tank. I believe that this is situational. You don't want it on a priest because the 30% HP, and even with increased physical reduction, physical damage resistance, you're not gonna survive that long. But when you have it on a tank, this is gonna make the tank live a lot longer. Last trait, and finally we're done with this tier list, is Second Life. Second Life is another of those S tier traits. Coming back to life really can be annoying. Of course, I know that both Resurrection and Second Life have got their cons. They got that thing that you come back exhausted, so you need time to go back to life. But if you manage to heal that resurrected or Second Life the hero, man, basically they killed it and they need to kill it again from the beginning. Again, if it's on a common unstone hero, fair enough, I'm gonna kill it again. It's not a problem. But if it's on a greater stone mythic tank, man, I'm not gonna be able to kill it again. I'm pretty sure. I've experienced games against Resurrection and Second Life. I won, but made the game really really difficult and really really long. So people needs to come to the game prepared that they gonna lose a lot of time, and probably the game is gonna become really exhausting, especially in the last bits of it. So this was my understanding of the traits, my tier list, what I think about them. I kept only explosion as a D tier. I could have moved iron skin there, but I wanted to, you know, make a tier level just for explosion because it's really really shit. I really hope that they're gonna rework the animation of Second Life because I believe that that blue ball that comes and brings you back to life is really horrible. But if they would simply put how do you call it, you know, the effect of the seer, the visual effect of the seer when it's casting and flies high, and the effect of the holy light that comes with all the basic heals from the priest. If they would have combined those two visual effects, so the light from the sky and the heroes flies and then he's back to life, that would have been crazy cool to see. That would have been perfect for Second Life. uh, I've been running, man, sticks. I've been ragging as well, don't worry. So for this last bit of the stream, I'm gonna have to take from our friend Mega Discord server the GCL schedule. So let's talk a bit about this first week GCL schedule. I'm gonna try not to stream any of the fights because I would like to see Mega doing that. But I'm gonna go on the Sundered Isles. I know that soon my friend Dragonfly Tales is gonna play. Probably is in an half hour, I believe. Let's go and put some influence on that fight. I didn't follow up who won between Max Jerin and Dijan. I hope Dijan, cause I put some. I'm gonna find it out instantly. No, Dijan lost. No, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I didn't know that. Seriously. I didn't know that. So, let's see. Vote sponsored bout Dragonfly versus Star Libra. Oh, there's quite a big man. Ah, yeah, I saw his heroes. Yeah, I saw them already. I put already my influence on him. There's there's 61 million influence on on Dragonfly. Is the second game already up? No. Well, it's gonna be in 32 minutes. So what I do think, I think that I was spectating while Mega was doing the two divisions, and it's been really a matter of luck, but most of the guilds ended up in the same divisions. So we have most of Mythic Squad in Division 1, most of Eternal Zenith in Division 2. Actually, Zion and Keraget are already playing one versus the other in the first day. So this is kind of sad somehow. Would have been better mixing up, but I know that that was random, so it's not in anybody's hand. I'm gonna keep my influence for the second round actually, although I don't believe they're gonna have time to sponsor it a lot. So you know what are we gonna do? We're gonna go and add some more influence on Dragonfly. So I'm curious to see who's gonna get out of this JCL with the victory cup in his hand. Uh, but I said it. I'm just said that the guilds haven't been mixed up a bit more. I wanted to see more games in between guilds. I wanted to see, Skiller versus Zion. I wanted to see a StycksIntern versus Degen. But I mean, that was a matter of luck. I really liked anyway the thing that has been organized among so many guilds, because really we have everybody's here. We have every kind of guild. We have people that I never saw before. Like I didn't know about the Stardust, aka Star Libra. I didn't know that Max Jerin was that good in order to beat Degen. That was unexpected, honestly, to see. I put my influence on Degen, honestly. I expected him to go with it easy. Instead, no. That was weird to see. Uh, Guys, I don't know if you're seeing, but the sponsorship for this match between Dragonfly and Star Libra is keeping going up. There's more than $100 of sponsorship here, and everybody's putting. Oh, who's Bobby Hill? He put what? 500 jewels. How much is that? There's a ton of money as a sponsorship here. Damn. Yeah, there's around 100. So $50 is only from this guy. Wow, it's a lot. It's cool to see that people is sponsoring the games this much. I'm gonna set up my game against France as soon as Mega is gonna tell me that France sent him is uh, Bobby Hill is the king of the sponsor hill. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like that betting company. How's it called? Damn. I'm not familiar with the American and English betting companies. Thing Hill. Anyway. So what I wanted to say, I'm gonna, as soon as Mega is gonna let me know that France sent him the his roster. I sent mine already. I scheduled the match with France for tomorrow night. So I hope it's gonna be a really good match. Me too. I bet in. Yeah, everybody was betting on Degen, of course, and it didn't work out. So as soon as I can, I'm gonna start to set up the game. I hope I can do that already tonight. So I'm basically gonna uh, hope for a good sponsorship there. I believe I can win with France. I can't believe I can win with Dijon, but I believe I might with France. I hope so. That said, guys, we've been streaming for more than an hour. We had a crazy good sponsorship today. I'm gonna clip it for you and post it on YouTube as a separate video if you wanna watch that again. The live show from Beaver and the Howling Wolves. And that said, I'm gonna thank you for being here today. It's been a really good stream. We've been talking about trades. It's time to get ready to spectate Dragonfly Tales. I don't know if that's gonna be live on any channel. I hope so. If Dragonfly is not gonna stream Omega, I hope you're gonna stream it. That said, thank you for being here today. KarmaKast, Karma's out. Mythic Squad, guys.